Hey guys, so we just did a video breaking down the red Sparking Mai and the new transforming Vegito Blue. So in this one, we're going to be breaking down Frieza and Cell from GT and the transforming Goku Black character. So we'll start off with Frieza and Cell, the very famous future character. And we'll take a look at their animations first and see if we can decipher what they're doing here. Let me just actually rewind here real quick so we can start at the beginning with these. All right, so it looks like a strike cover change into a blue melee blue card here with Cell. Okay, and they are a tag character. Yeah, that mean it looks good. I do like the aesthetic so far. It is an LOE character. Finally, we're gonna get another. Unfortunately, it is another LOE tag unit. They really gave us this before like a game original's freezing cooler unit. Okay. All right, so here we go. No blast armor. Is that what I just saw? I think he doesn't have blast armor actually. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has blast armor. Okay. All right, so there's Frieza's strike card. This is blue. Yeah, the animations look pretty good. Oh no, that was a green, I guess, is what that was, huh? And then this is the blue? Huh, okay. Interesting. All right, let's see what they actually do here. Again, we're not going to get the full picture of this character, but we at least can get like a preview. Cell is blue and then Frieza is purple. Dude, how many purple LOE characters are they just going to give us over and 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 over forever into infinity until the end of time? How many purple LOE characters? 1, 2, 3. This guy was crazy back when he released. Chilled was good. Like... NECA Frieza, like there's other colors that exist. All right, melee type. They're going to be on a lot of teams. Android, Regen. Why? Can anybody explain this? Why are they on Future? I need MLA format essay. Why are they on Future? And why are they buffing Future? Why? Why are they on Future? Okay. GT, Frieza Force, Lineage of Evil. There are a lot of teams. Why are they in Future? No idea. And then they buff GT Future and androids. I could not explain it, man. I wonder if they're just gonna start giving random characters just like random tags. So like, what if they just gave like Buu Saga? I don't know, Buu Saga Ultimate Gohan. They just, I guess we just got a Buu Saga Ultimate Gohan. What's a character we haven't gotten? Like, what if they just dropped a Bojack and they just put him on, like, God Key? Why not, man? Just do it. Super powerful awakened arts that can seal enemies. Seal. Okay, so we're bringing back the Master Roshi Evil Containment Wave of mechanic. I actually thought they were going to do is I thought they were going to give us a 1% sparking Evil Containment Wave Trunks who would have done that. But this, I mean, I understand, like, thematically, of course, this works, too. Awakened. Oh, it's an awakened arts. Okay, who was the last awakened arts that we got? Was it Red Bojack from the 3rd anniversary 3.5 years ago? Seals enemy characters on hit if all of the following conditions are met. There are at least 2 enemy battle members remaining. The damage from the almighty light cage does not cause the enemy to be defeated, does not cause an enemy special action that activates when health reaches 0 to activate. It is an online battle. There are currently no sealed enemy characters. Yeah, so it's the same exact conditions as Roshi's Mafuba. The same thing. The sealed character cannot enter the battlefield until one of the following conditions is met. The Cell and Frieza who used Almighty Light Cage is defeated. All other enemy battle members are defeated. Yeah, so it's literally the exact same thing as Roshi. This mechanic is really broken. So what they did with that Roshi character is they kind of put all the eggs into that one mechanic, into the basket of that one mechanic. And then Roshi himself, besides that one mechanic, is really not good. So I'll be curious to see how they do this character with their design. Are they going to make these guys just terrible outside of the seal? But I don't know. We'll see. All right, next. What's the last page here? We'll talk about this for a while, huh? The hell? High recovery and combo capabilities. Switchability. When Cell tag switches to Frieza, switches own elements to purple, and then, yeah, and then when Frieza goes to Cell, he's blue. Restores health, increases own hard draw speed by 1 level. Unique ability, restores own health and ki upon landing a strike or blast. Okay, well that's very uninforming. we don't really learn much from this, but all right. All right, let's go to Goku Black. Just take a look and see what they say initially for him. So Goku Black, let's see. He's yellow defense. Yellow, huh? I mean, that does kind of make sense. Green, because here's the thing. These are the first buffs for future that we're seeing in a while, and they're going to want you to run, like, if you pull both these characters, they're going to be on your future team, because there's, like, literally no one else to run. So they clearly are designing this Goku Black and the Vegito to be used together. And that's usually how they design these major celebrations anyway. So we got green Vegito and yellow Goku Black again, which makes sense because that color pairing works pretty well. All right. Let's see. So Legends Limited Goku Black. Transform into Super Saiyan Rose during battle. Legends Limited Goku Black joins the fight. New feature. No special cover changing. For 15 timer counts after battle starts, as well as when you max out the unique gauge, enemies will be prevented from special cover changing. That means any character will be able to go on the offense without having to worry about enemy special cover changes. Not only that, but it's an effect that can't be canceled with cancel abnormal condition effects. So it's like a debuff. This is like a domain from Dokkan. This is like a domain effect. If you guys know what a domain is in Dokkan, essentially it's like a field effect, like in Yu-Gi-Oh or something, where you have a field active and then it's going to affect the entire playing field. Like some characters will get like buffs for being in, if they're like a certain type or something like that. That's kind of what this is, I think. For 15 counts after battle starts, as well as when you max out the unique gauge, enemies will be prevented from special cover changing. Huh. I'm gonna have to think about that. That really helps this character, because this guy has a really bad cover null condition. You know what's funny about this is this is going to synergize better with characters that just have bad cover null conditions. But the thing with that is, like, all the best characters in the game have good cover null conditions. Gotenks has a good cover null condition. Tree of Might Goku has a good cover null condition. Majin Vegeta has a good one. Turles has a good one. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has a good one. I mean, we could just go down the line here. Omega has a good one. Ultimate Gohan, it's kind of like iffy, I guess, for Ultimate Gohan. These guys, I would say they're, you know, so it's okay. Baby has a decent one. Super 17 has a good one. So, like, every character has pretty good cover null conditions, I would say. Huh. This will be interesting. I mean, know that Vegito has a good one, too. It's very good. So, I don't know. We'll see. This could be really, if they start sacrificing giving characters cover null to make them better in other ways, that could be impactful. You know what this would have been really strong for? Can you guys think of a character this would have been really helpful for? The answer is this. That would have really helped the androids. Because outside of the green cards, these guys don't get cover null in any way. Now, I imagine they would have probably changed that if they got a Zenkai. This guy doesn't get cover null anywhere, essentially, I don't think. Because this guy came out so long ago, it was kind of before cover null was really an established mechanic. The only character that really had cover null was yellow blue Gogeta. Okay. Super Saiyan Rose transformation. Use the main ability to transform and get a big boost to damage inflicted. Plus, this ability grants a buff that nullifies enemy special cover changes. Okay. Making it easy to use in the middle of a combo. Excellent defensive abilities. Goku Black has a unique gauge that charges each time this character is hit by an enemy arts. Max it out to destroy enemy cards and reduce their ki. Plus, activate an endurance effect and destroy your opponent's entire hand when health reaches 0, which makes a lot of sense if we look back at what Vegito is doing, which is exactly what I thought he would do when we take a look at this. Remember, Vegito, reduce ally subcount by 5 and removes enemy buff effects 3 times, 3, when they use an ultimate, Awakened Arts, or Rising Rush. So, yeah. So that is pretty important now that we know that Rose has endurance. Drown the world in radiant rose-colored despair with Legends Limited Goku Black. Yellow Saiyan powerful opponent. And then future, and he's going to be on God Key when he's transformed too. So Goku Black has always been on a lot of different teams, which is good, obviously. So like when we start getting, strong, powerful opponent characters, the fact that we're even getting a powerful opponent character for like a major celebration like this is pretty good, because it means that when we get more powerful, because just like what happens is in between major celebrations, like January to April, and then like we saw this year where we got Turles and stuff, Broly, but Broly was kind of a flop, and like Garlic Jr. And then like August to October, we typically do get a bunch of different powerful opponent releases there. So this guy could be helpful moving forward there. Okay, so Z ability, 38% to future God Key or powerful opponent strike and blast defense, and then 18% to tag future strike attack. Keep in mind that technically speaking, Vegito is a range type. So we'll have to wait and see how they want to build this guy, but it looks like he's going to be giving strike attack here. No blast armor. No blast armor. And then nothing on this. These are describing the types of cards that he holds, not the effects on the individual cards. All right, the blue card is melee based. This is inflicts the enemy with heavy bleed on hits. If the unique gauge is full, you'll even nullify enemy's endurance effects. So he's going to be nullifying endurance even in base. Okay. Deals massive explode damage, 30% to special move damage inflicted for 3 timer counts upon activation. 100% chance to inflict heavy bleed on hit. If unique gauge is full. Okay, so this guy has a unique gauge where he's going to be resetting it. Resets on unique gauge to 0 and the following effects occur upon activation. 30% to special move damage inflicted for 3 counts. Nullifies endurance for 3 counts. And then all enemies get minus 30% health restoration. Okay. Yeah, the fact that he can nullify endurance even before transforming is pretty good, I would say. All right, green card, a special arts that can nullify strike arts. What do you mean nullify strike arts? A special arts that can nullify strike arts and various forward charging arts. If you manage to nullify an attack... Oh, it's a counter. If you manage to nullify an attack, reduce the enemy's vanishing gauge to 0... and reduce their ki by 100 for an instant chance to go for a counterattack. What? Is this like an Ice Shenron green card? What is this? Applies the following effects to self upon activation. Restores health by 10%. Nullifies unfavorable elements. Factors for damage sustained for 10 counts. So he's going to be type neutral defensively here. Nullifies enemies' melee tap actions, strike arts, and most forward charging and other special move and special arts while in fighting pose. Following effects occur if attacks are nullified. Randomly draws at most 4 new cards when you have 3 or fewer cards. First ki by 50, 30% damage inflicted. Reduce enemies' vanishing gauge to 0%. Reduce enemies' ki by 100. Inflicts all enemies with 3 sub... Is this just like... This is a melee version of Super 17. Let me see if we can actually see this in action. I want to see this. Did they show this? Hold on. Hold on, we didn't get to see the beginning. All right, so that's his cover change, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, strike cover change. That's his blue card. That actually does look very good. I want to see if they land this counter. Here we go. Yeah, no, you know what that is? That's just Super 17 melee version. It's what that is, right? It's a melee version of... Oh my god. That's a melee version of Super 17's green card. Draws a full hand, gets ki, damage, and then he's basically going to be getting a guaranteed combo on the opponent here. Huh. The only thing is he doesn't go type neutral offensively, he just goes defensively. That's pretty funny. Main ability, transform into Super Saiyan Rose, restores a bunch of health and ki while also gaining a buff that nullifies enemy special cover changes. So transforms into Rose, 30% health, 50 ki, and then nullifies special cover changes for 10 counts. Cancels own attribute downgrades in normal conditions. All right, 20 counts. Unique ability number 1, inflicts all enemies with no special cover changing at battle start. Yeah, I don't... That's something that's not really possible to evaluate right now. And the main reason why I'm saying this is because characters... One of the defining traits that make characters good right now is high uptime on special cover change nullification. So they've spent, essentially, the past 3 years making characters good because of doing that with their kits. So this has anti-synergy with their design philosophy for the past like 2.5 years. So I think this is more so going to be a thing that's going to be forward facing. So like Legends Fest Part 2 drops. Does the Part 2 character not have high uptime on special cover change nullification? And then the same thing with the Part 3 character, and then moving forward into January and February and stuff like that. We'll have to keep our eye on this. Goku Black has incredible defenses. Just by entering the battlefield, nullify unfavorable element factors for damage sustained, get a reduction to impact and slice damage received, and reduce all enemy special move, ultimate, and awakened arts power. Okay. If the enemy uses an ultimate arts, awakened arts, or rising rush while Goku Black is on the battlefield, cancel enemy buff effects. You'll be able to use this character to withstand your opponent's biggest attacks. Okay, so he sounds like a very defensive-oriented unit. I mean, he's a defense type, right? So 150% damage, same as Vegito. 70% reduced damage received, 70% to ki recovery. Okay, remember, Vegito does not have base ki recovery in his base form, which Goku Black does. Card draw speed, arts cost down, and then inflicts all enemies with no special cover changing for 15 timer counts. Falling effects occur when this character enters the battlefield, randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards. Restores health by 15%, activates 3 times. Shit. Okay, so this is shit. He's only going to do this 3 times, no matter if it's before or after transforming. Interesting, because like Gotenks does that just infinite times, right? Doesn't Gotenks just do that every time? Yeah. Okay. Restores one ki by 30, 70% damage, wakes up to 220 here. Reduce impact and slice damage received by 10% for 10 counts. Nullifies own unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 10 timer counts. And then inflicts all enemies with minus 20% special move, ultimate, awakened arts power. So he's actually doing less. He's doing less than Vegito is. Because remember, Vegito, I believe, is 30%. But remember, you're going to be running these guys on the same team. So there's going to be a lot of times where I think these are going to be overlapping. So you're going to have this guy's debuff and Vegito's debuff up. Applies the following effects: self-pun landing a strike or a blast arts hit, activates once. Restores ki by 30, 30% damage for 10 counts, activation count resets after characters switch. Okay, so yeah, it's just 30%. Let's just start counting here. 30%, 70, 150, so 250. But this is not something that's carrying over to the post-transformed. Cancels enemies' buff effects when they activate an ultimate arts, awaken arts, or rising rush while this character in the battlefield. That was twice. Okay. Shared before and after transforming. Shortens own sub counts by 5 when enemy activates an ultimate, awakened arts, or rising rush while this character is on standby. Yeah, obviously that's meant to work with Vegito because Vegito is reducing ally sub counts by 5. So this guy switches into Vegito, and then the opponent immediately rushes, and this guy can instantly switch back in. Because it's going to be his own minus 5 plus the Vegito minus 5 effect. Yeah, so that is very obviously designed that way. Unique ability number 2 has a special cover change against strike arts. Recover 20% of the damage received when an enemy attack is over. If your health reaches 0, activate an endurance effect and destroy all of your opponent's cards. The unique gauge will be charged greatly whenever Goku Black is hit with an enemy's arts attack. So it's similar to like Super Baby 2's gauge. When it's fully charged, inflicts all enemies with no special cover changing. Knocks enemy back to long range with cover change performed against their strike cards, which you can combo with the blue. Following effects occur when own health reaches 0, activates once. 30% cancels own attribute downgrades in normal conditions. Stores all of your enemies' cards. Okay. And then, yeah, so I was going to say, there's no way he has like multiple endurance effects here. Greatly charges unique gauge every time when hit with an enemy's art attack while this character is on the battlefield. I assume this is the same wording as Super Baby 2, but let me just confirm that that is indeed the case. Yep. Okay, so it's going to be the same charge rate as Super Baby 2, which is good because it's pretty fast. Usually it's 2 or 3 hits depending on how many, or depending on what type of card you're being hit by. Falling effects occur when a unique gauge is full, restores health by 20%. I'm going to keep it up actually. I want to compare this to Baby's gauge. Just because we already know how this works and it'll be a good frame of reference for us. All right, so he's healing by 20%, shortens allies subcount by 2. Randomly destroys 2 enemy cards, reduce enemy key by 50, and then all enemies with no special cover changes. So here's the thing. He resets that. That's the only way he resets it, right? I didn't see this anywhere else. Resets on unique gauge. Yeah, I didn't see it. Doesn't have it on here. Okay. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because of this. You can have pretty high uptime on this, I think. Super Baby 2 is 25%. 50 key. He doesn't give key to himself. Because Baby's drawing a blue card, right? Destroys 2 cards, reduce key by 50. It's the same. This is obviously a big thing. This is a big thing. Yeah, I mean, just in a vacuum, Baby's gauge looks stronger. But obviously the big draw with Goku Blacks is this. I'm just going to mark this as a question mark for now. Because I can't tell how much value we're going to be able to get off of this. But now that we're seeing that this is something that's going to have, I would say, decent uptime, because you can reset the gauge. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how good this feels to use. Falling effects occur when enemy switches characters with his characters in the battlefield. Restores on health by 5%. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 10 to all arts costs. Okay, that's annoying. Inflicts all enemies with -1 arch card draw speed. Yeah, that's good too. These are annoying. Applies the falling effects to self after enemy attack is over. Restores health by 20% of damage received. And 30% damage for 15 counts. Okay. And then when he goes Goku Rose, he's going to get God Key. Yeah. Okay, now he's going to get Blast Armor on this. So he's got to transform first to get Blast Armor. I think Vegito just has Blast Armor on both, right? Yeah. 100% chance to inflict extreme bleed. And then this is the same. All right, blue card. Restores the let me just quickly count what his damage is at. So he's going to be getting 150. Remember, all these are carrying over. These are all carrying. He's going to get card draw speed, the cost reduction, the key. So this is all carrying over. So 150 to that. 70, 220. And that, I think, is all of his damage, right? He doesn't have any other uncancelable damage buffs. This is timed. So he's going in with 220. Okay. Restore Vanishing Gauge by 100% upon activating a special move arts. Okay, that's pretty good. Because it's melee, right? Yeah. You'll now nullify enemy endurance effects even when the unique gauge isn't full. Okay, and that's just standard. Deals massive impact damage, applies the following effects self-upon activation. 30% of special move damage inflicted for 3 counts. Restores Vanishing Gauge by 100%. And then endurance gets nullified. On hit, inflicts attribute downgrade plus 10 to all arts costs for 20 counts. 100% chance to inflict extreme bleed. 20 counts is actually a while for that. If unique gauge is full, resets the unique gauge. And then he gets extra damage. And then all enemies get minus 50% to health. This is on activation. This is really strong for an activation effect. Because that means if you use this on a character that has endurance, that is canceling your buff effects. So you wouldn't actually nullify it. Like let's say you're using this against like Ultimate Gohan, who's canceling. Actually, let's say Majin Vegeta, right? Ultra Majin Vegeta would cancel your endurance nullification when you use this blue card. You're still going to be affecting him with this debuff though. So he's going to be healing 50% less of his health back with the endurance. That's pretty good. The green card is, I don't know. Do they show this? Just want to know what we're looking at here. Okay, here's a transfer. This is a really cool animation. I like this a lot. You know what this character is? Just like a modern version of green transforming Rose, who I just did a showcase of. All right, let's see. That's the green, right? Oh, it's a projectile. Really? Projectile green. You guys know how good those are now with Tree of Might Goku, right? Projectile greens are very strong. Okay. Gain a buff effect that nullifies enemy special cover. Dude, this guy's just going to be permanently nullifying special cover changes. When the unique gauge is at max, restores own health and shortens the sub count of your allies. Applies the following effects self upon activation. He draws a card, restores key by 50. Following effects occur upon on hit. 20% to damage inflicted. Cover and all for 10 counts. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade minus 50% to health restoration. These are really strong. All these healing debuffs really are going to add up a lot, because I would say the majority of bulky characters in this game are bulky because of the healing that they're doing. That's why. So him having all these is really strong. And then he's going to be able to combo with this, of course. If unique gauge is full, resets. Oh, he can actually reset his unique gauge via the green now. That's really important. He can reset his gauge with the green card now. Restores health by 10%. Applies attribute upgrade minus 15% to enemy sustained damage cut effects. Okay, so he has sustained damage cut penetration here. That is one thing we didn't really see on Vegito, is he doesn't really have this. Shortens ally sub count by 2. Yeah, this is, if you have the unique gauge, this is pretty insane, actually. Main ability charges the unique gauge by 100% and nullifies unfavorable element factors. Draws a blue card, 50 key, 20% health, full unique gauge. Cancels own attribute downgrades in normal conditions. Nullifies own unfavorable element. He's just type neutral offensively. So he's going to be getting this essentially guaranteed. Huh. Okay. Unique ability 1, get a large buff to damage inflicted when you transform, and also reduce all enemies' health restoration by 50%. Yeah, again, very strong. Don't give your opponent any chance to get back in the fight. Following effects occur after transforming. 40% damage, 60% key recovery. Didn't you already get 70? What the hell? Okay, it's a lot of key recovery. 130% key recovery on a non-ultra character. 20% to own health restoration for 30 timer counts. 30 timer counts, okay. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 50% to health restoration for 5 counts. Huh. Okay, that's a little weird, but I think the intended way that they want you to use the transformation, because it gives you cover and all, is they want you to use this in the middle of a combo, I think. Following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards. 15% healing, but this is shared, yeah, between base and Rose. 30 key. Reduces impact and slice damage received by 10% for 10 counts. Okay. Nullifies unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 10 counts. Okay, type neutral for 10 counts defensively. And then this goes to 30%, actually. Yeah. You're going to have 2 of these on the team with Vegito as well. That's a lot. Applies the following effects self upon landing a strike or a blast arts hit. Activates once. Restores key by 30, 40% damage inflicted for 15 counts. Cancels enemies' buff effects when enemy activates an ultimate arts, awakened arts, or rising rush for this characters in the battlefield. Activation count is shared before and after transforming. Yeah, so we already know this. And then he's going to reduce his own self count by 5 when he's on standby. Unique ability number 2, after transforming, this character will have a special cover change against blast arts instead of against strike arts. Okay, so he's going to get a blast cover change, which makes a lot of sense considering that you now are going to have Vegeta, who has a strike cover change, and then this Rose is going to have a blast one. So if your opponent is ever in a situation where he does not have cover null active, which with these new characters seems very unlikely, but if you are in that spot, your opponent's going to have to just guess as to who you're going to be switching into here. Filling up the unique gauge to max will now nullify unfavorable element factors for damage sustained and reduce your opponent's Dragon Balls. Okay. So blast cover change. Falling effects occur when own health reaches 0. Ease endurance, 30% health. Clear your abnormal effects and stuff like that. Destroys all of your enemy's cards. Greatly charges on unique gauge every time when hit with enemy's arts attack. That's the same wording. Once unique gauge is full, it resets to 0 and the following effects occur. Restores own health by 25%. Nullifies own unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 10 counts. Shortens ally subcount by 2. Randomly destroys 2 enemy cards. Reduces enemy key by 50. Reduces enemies' Dragon Balls by 1. Activates twice. And then inflicts all enemies with no special cover changing for 15 counts. So here is the interesting thing about this. This main ability essentially is giving you cover null because you're going to be filling up your gauge with this. So popping the main ability to get the full unique gauge is essentially giving the entire team cover null for 15 counts because it's going to activate this. You know what this kind of reminds me of? I'm pretty sure this is the only character in the game that does this. Is this EX Fascia? No, I think it's this one, the blue one. Blue EX Fascia. Look at this. Applies buff effect, nullifies enemies' special actions activate when changing cover to allied Team Bardock. I remember when this character came out because this was an insane ability because Bardock, the LF Bardock, did not have cover change, special cover change nullification anywhere. So I was thinking at the time to myself, I'm like, when are they going to give this to other characters? And well, now they've done that with Rose. So that's pretty interesting, actually. You could just, on command, essentially give the entire team 15 counts of cover null by just popping your main ability here. It's a lot of healing, too. I mean, is he healing with the main? You think he is, right? Yeah, so he's getting 20% health plus 25. He's getting 45% healing with the main. Plus, he's got the 20% health restoration buff as well. Falling effects occur when enemy switches characters while this character is on the battlefield, which restores health by 5%, plus 10 to all arts costs, and then -1 to arts guard draw speed for all enemies. And then applies the following effects self after enemy attack is over. It restores 20% of damage received and 40% of damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. This is actually an effect that we used to see all the time. If you go back to I think it was really the time in between the first and second anniversary. We would have characters like Purple Goku Black, Purple Cooler. They would have these abilities where every time the enemy attack ended, they would get buffs. That is what this is. Don't really see this as much anymore, but if the opponent is really, like tap attack happy or something like that, and you can just stack this up a lot. Because this is stackable. It doesn't say cannot be stacked, so... interesting. I think this character is mostly going to be hinging on how effective this is. It's really tough for me to say right now because, again, most characters just have extremely high uptime on special cover change nullification. So I'm not really sure how much value this is going to have right now, but we'll see if is this going to impact their design philosophy moving forward? Like, are they going to be giving us characters that just don't have special cover change nullification anymore, and they're going to be expecting you to run them next to this character or something like that? That's possible. So we'll see, but this character looks interesting. Definitely more of a defensive character than Vegito for sure. That makes sense because they want you to run more of an offensive character and a defensive character on the same team, which this character and Vegito were definitely designed to work together. So let me know what you guys think of LF transforming Goku Black. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.